Welcome to all the Cancer rising signs of the zodiac to your astrology for the month of June 2025. I'm Cosmic Girl 101. Trust you're doing well. I'll open up the video by saying thank you for pressing on this video and listening to it. My little bubble channel's growing, and it's all thanks to astrology enthusiasts such as yourselves. So it's important for me to say thank you. Means a lot. If you're new here, welcome. This YouTube channel is dedicated to astrology. Okay, Cancer rising signs. I think you'll be looking back on the month of June 2025 quite fondly. There's a lot of auspicious planetary transits and action happening in this month for you that bodes well for positive change. And we'll talk about why in this video this is happening for you. And you can thank your lucky stars and the celestial bodies for that, because we've got some really nice transits, and you are one of the zodiac signs that benefits from these really quite positive, optimistic transits and aspects in the month of June. Your chart ruler, the moon, we have a moon opening up the month of June in its waxing phase. That means you are building and building into a momentum and coming into some sort of crescendo or a completion point in the month of June when we get to the 11th. The standout days astrologically are the 8th and 9th of June. These are really active planetary days. And so not only are you going to be all up in it, so is everyone else. So these 2 days of the month, the 8th and 9th, are really busy. But your chart ruler, the moon, is well aspected and well positioned to bring in a successful completion and bring in something new for you in the month of June. So it's a good month. I mean, June's that part of the year. We're halfway through the calendar year where we like, oh, what do we need to change? What's changing? What are we ending? What are we beginning? What are we fine tuning before we get to the end of the year? So it's adjustment time, June, for all of us. And on the 21st of June, we bring in the summer solstice for the northern hemisphere and the winter solstice in the southern hemisphere. So a change of season also is indicated for the month of June. All right. So now we are going to talk about the astrology for the month of June, what it means for the Cancer rising signs. Let's go. On the 6th, Venus leaves Aries, your 10th house, where she's been in detriment, not doing so well, and moves into Taurus, her zodiac sign, where she's in domicile in your 11th house until July 4. So we have a well-positioned Venus indicating Venusian things are easy to access now that she's out of a detriment of Aries in her 10th house. So your career and superiors in your public professional arena may have had some contention or just felt like it's been hard going to get what you want or even recognition. But now Venus going into Taurus, into your 11th house of benefactors, social groups and people, friends, and your dreams and your goals seem to be more available because Venus is in her own zodiac sign of Taurus, where she does very well and things become easy to access. So if you've really been going through it regarding any superiors in your life with your work or career, your professional arena, Venus now going into Taurus into your 11th house until July 4 bodes well for things calming down and harmony coming back on board, which bodes really well for you as a Cancer rising sign. So for the 6th to July 4, Venus in your 11th house is just where social lives become more accessible. So you can connect with people more organically. You can enjoy social events more organically. You can enjoy really tapping into your dreams and your goals. Without feeling like you're overindulgent, like, oh, I'm thinking too much about that. This transit bodes well for indulging in your dreams and your goals, taking the time to look at the lay of the land. What is it that you want? Venus will give you the cosmic green pass, if you will, to um, really give a lot more time and dedication towards things that you want to build and grow for yourself. So, this is a really nice transit for um, slowly digesting your social connections, social events, your dreams, and your goals. Connecting with benefactors that can help your career more organically. So, if like a company or a marketer has been out of reach, all of a sudden they're available. That sort of serendipitous thing can happen now that Venus is in domicile in Taurus, in her home sign, in your 11th house of benefactors. So it's a really nice transit all in all. So enjoy your social life and your dreams and goals to be more available and people to give you a lending hand. That may have been out of reach for some time whilst Venus was in Aries in your 10th house. Okay, moving on to the 8th now. This is the time of the month where things really start to amplify. So, Mercury conjuncts Jupiter in your 12th house. So, that 12th house is the house of isolation, things we do in solitude, things where we sort of lose ourselves, where we check out, we just indulge in what we love. And we've got Mercury, the planet of intellect, conjuncting Jupiter, the planet of hope, faith, and belief. So this is interesting because Mercury being about logic and detail, hooking up with hopeful, jolly, almost invisible belief planet Jupiter indicates that you might be feeling the need to jump in where angels fear to tread, something that you keep to yourself may be expressed on the 8th of June. So you might be quickly expressing, if you will, your heart's desire or your lofty dreams and goals on the 8th of June instead of keeping it under wraps. So you might be spilling the beans on the 8th or at least thinking about it seriously. So if you've got something you want to trumpet or herald to the world and you've been keeping it cool, the 8th of June might be the day where it all feels like the cat's being let out of the bag. After Mercury conjuncts Jupiter, Mercury quickly moves into Cancer, into your first house until the 26th of June. So this is a really quick transit. So you may feel like you're being really blown around by the wind with Mercury flying through your first house until the 26th of June. So Mercury being about logic and being very detail oriented in Cancer itself, which is about invested in emotional security and trusting its heart's desire and going for it, Mercury will find it difficult to basically go from the heart instead of the head. So you might be torn with this transit. That's not to frighten you. It just may feel like the realities of what you want to start and begin and really invest in is overtaking the desire of it all and the good feelings of it all, what you want to put your money into or what you want to invest your time into. It may feel like Mercury is really encroaching on your space and going, but what about this and what about that? Have you considered this? Have you thought about that? This is where it becomes nuanced. So you might feel like um, the wind's been taken out of your sails with Mercury in the first house. So you'll be like, it'll be a tug of war. Do I trust my heart's desire, or do I believe in the hard facts? So that sort of dichotomy is what you'll be working with when you want to start something or begin a new journey for yourself. It all might come down to brass tacks like the finances and the hard copy and the evidence of is what your heart is invested in. Does it have the goods to fill your cup up long term? So that sort of dynamic may be hard to navigate with Mercury zooming through your first house on the 8th of June to the 26th of June. It's a passing transit, it will pass. On the 9th, another big day. Jupiter ingresses into your first house of Cancer until the 30th of June 2026. I have uploaded a separate video about Jupiter in Cancer for the Cancer rising signs on my YouTube channel. I encourage you to go back and listen to that. I go into a lot of detail about this transit for your rising sign. So I'm not really going to exhaust myself again and go through it all again. So I'll give you a quick lay of the land. But please, if you're into astrology, you'd be well advised to listen to that video that I've already uploaded for you about this transit of Jupiter exalted in Cancer in your first house. Jupiter in the first house exalted really helps you cash in on opportunities, start a new journey, learn something new, balance work life, enjoy your heart's desire with reckless abandonment. Streamline your direction. Jupiter's fantastic for bringing in serendipitous, almost auspicious opportunities with this transit that really propel you into a new trajectory of your own free will. It's a really wonderful transit with Jupiter in your first house from the 9th of June all the way until June 26th, the 30th of June. Okay, so really nice. But go back and listen to that video on my channel. You'll benefit from it. Okay. The same day on the 9th, retrograde Pluto squares off with Venus. Oh, poor Venus, who's well positioned in Taurus, really enjoying herself. And your friends, social events, your dreams, and your goals, benefactors, everything seems to be going quite nice in that 11th house. And then retrograde Pluto has a problem with Venus. And so this contention is happening from the 8th house of shared resources. So this could be like an uncomfortable conversation that needs to be had. Or a reality check, if you will, about your direction or social connections and your dreams. How are they affecting shared finances and or the resources? So you can think of this day as retrograde Pluto being more like a father, just metaphorically, a dad going, the harsh realities are your financial position, or people that have joint resources with you might be getting ahead of themselves. So this could feel like a Mercury transit in Cancer, where like is logic being overtaken by the heart and our desire here. So it can be a day when retrograde Pluto squares off with Venus, when the realities of a financial bind becomes a little bit too much, when you want to reach for the stars or someone wants to. So it can be a irritating aspect that you'll be experiencing with retrograde Pluto squaring off with Venus. And also Mercury in your first house is squaring off with Saturn and Neptune. And this also can be a contentious alignment. Mercury in Cancer, logic over heart, in your first house. So this is you really trying to come to terms with the weighty responsibilities of your career, professional life, or a superior. Really knocking on your door saying, let's get down to brass tacks. And it might feel like you're being pushed and pulled in all different directions on the 9th of June. So this is like a real reality check on the 9th with these alignments of these planets. Retrograde Pluto, not happy with Venus. Mercury, not happy with Saturn and Neptune. It just feels like there's big decisions or directions that need to be taken, and it can all be a little bit overwhelming on the 9th of June. So deep breaths. On the 11th of June, we have our first lunation of the month. Now, your chart ruler is the moon, so this will be a date to remember. In fact, I think this will be a month that we all reflect back on quite fondly with all the positive transits and aspects of the planets this month. Okay, so your chart ruler, the moon, is situated on the 11th of June in the sixth house of Sagittarius at 20 degrees. And the moon is ripe. It's at its peak point in its lunation cycle. So the moon has been waxing from the 1st of June, just building and building and building. And then here comes the crescendo point on the 11th of June, where you sit in your juices, if you will. Your chart ruler is the moon, so you'll be all up in this and really contemplating the merits or the pitfalls of your work, services, your health, anything that you consider to be laborious will be a focus on the 11th of June, where you are really aware of things that are almost habitual to you and how your body's responding in kind. Is it ticking your boxes emotionally? Is it fill your cup up when you think of things that we do on a day to day, work or a service, anything? Um, how are you gauging on this day? Does it feel like you're in the right space, or do you feel like it's come to the end of its line on the 11th of June? And the chart ruler of Sagittarius, sorry, the planetary ruler of Sagittarius is Jupiter. And we know Jupiter is exalted in Cancer in your first house. So this will be quite some lunation, because Jupiter in the first house of the self and your health and your body and what you want to begin. Well, the lunation starting up the sixth house of things that are habitual to you. So I liken this full moon as you having a quiet moment of just tuning into you and feeling like, are you on the right track with something that you do on the day to day? How's your routine going? How's your body responding in kind to all of the effort that you're putting into something or the self? And what's the payoff? What's the benefit of this almost, heart's desire that you put a lot of time and effort into? The full moon on June, on the 11th, will be that moment where you're sort of deciding, you know, and tapping into, how do I feel about what I do on a day to day? How's it served me? Has it got room to grow? Am I cashing in? Am I getting an exchange? Like, am I getting some results here? Or what do I need to change or let go of? So this full moon on the 11th of June will be quite the full moon, where you'll be all up in it. But your emotions and your feelings will be your indicators. So trust your intuition here on the 11th of June of dropping a service or something to do that you do on a day to day, or um, really start putting your pedal to the metal and push through the obstacles that are blocking you from progression. So you'll either be in or out on the 11th of June. So it will be a big moment in the month for you. The 13th to the 16th, Uranus is squaring Mars. So Uranus is a planet that likes to shake things up, and it's in Taurus with Venus. And we think of Uranus trying to shake things up to do with your goals and your friends and your social groups and benefactors that help your career in some way, shape, or form. It's shaking that part of the chart up between the 13th and 16th, and it's having a conflict with Mars in Leo in the second house of finance, your livelihood, and your assets. So Uranus, so this could be someone that benefits you, a friend or a social commitment, or even a goal or a dream of yours, just feels uncertain or not completely, running in a straight line, and it could be affecting your sense of security, your finances, or your livelihood in some way, shape, or form. So this could be a delicate 3 days that you'll be maneuvering around between the 13th and 16th of June. So all may not be sitting well with well laid plans financially, and it could have some pushback from someone in your social circle or community on this day. A positive transit is happening with Mars ingressing into Virgo on the 17th of June until the 6th of August. Mars in Virgo is fantastic for detailed work. So think of Mars as strategic and just passionately pursues its heart's desire. And with Virgo, which is detailed work, detailed communication, uh, very good at putting in effort to have a harvest. And this bodes well for your third house of siblings, travel, and education, and your local community, your local space. So I like this transit for you as a Cancer rising to put your name on the map, start marketing and promoting services or what you've got. You can help in some way, shape, or form in your community, or you can really benefit from education here or travel. Anything to do with siblings becomes a lot more auspicious. So, siblings might be a key to opening up your name or something that you can bring to the table. A sibling sort of serendipitously introduces you to someone that really can open doors for you. So, it's a really positive transit with Mars and Virgo in your third house. So, if you've been contemplating, do I start that course? Do I get in my car more and get into my environment, maybe pitch an idea or go for a job closer to home. This would be the transit to do it. With Mars in Virgo from the 17th to the 6th of August bodes really well. On the 21st, solstice time begins and the sun ingresses into Cancer, into your first house, joining jolly Jupiter and Mercury. The sun will be here until the 22nd of July. So 4 weeks the sun is shining on the first house of your body, your health, what you want to begin and what you want to start. So this would be strike while the iron hot is hot transit for you, Cancer rising signs. Put some more energy and effort into what you love and go for it with reckless abandonment. I think this bodes well for you for getting yourself out there, moving and shaking more with the sun in the first house. And with Mars in Virgo, yeah, get out in the community more. Put your name on the map. This would be a great time to do it with the sun in your first house from the 21st of June to the 22nd of July. The 24th, the sun conjuncts Jupiter in your first house. Really, really bodes well for launching into uh, biting off more than you can chew. Take a leap of faith on this day. Um, Go for it sort of day with the sun conjunct Jupiter. You might be inspired to reach for the stars, and why not? Jupiter's in the first house, exalted. The sun is an optimistic luminary. I'd be not holding back on the 24th of June if anyone comes knocking at your door with an opportunity, or you're just taking a leaf out of your own book and saying, I can do this. Time to start moving on the 24th of June. Lovely day. The next day, the 25th, we have a new moon. And we know that the moon is your chart ruler. And here it is in your first house of Cancer at 4 degrees, heralding a new start, urging you to step into a new role, a new, fresh beginning for yourself. This bodes well for anything to do with nurturing the body. If you are a Cancer rising sign, then is considered having children or building on your family, this would be a great time to really think about conceiving, pregnancy. It's also a fabulous time for starting a new journey or beginning to really tune into your body and the environment that you're in. Like, do you need to relocate? Maybe you want to relocate. Maybe you want to spruce up your home on this day or start a new renovation. Bodes well for anything that emotionally ticks your boxes, Cancer rising. This new moon. And Jupiter conjunct the sun only the day before, I think really got a fire lit under your feet. And the 25th is the starting to execute and action your heart's desires on the 25th. Bodes really well for brand new beginnings of any kind on the 25th of June. Enjoy it. Moving on to the 26th, Mercury leaves your first house of Cancer and ingresses into Leo, into your second house until the 2nd of September. So we know that Mercury is very logical, likes the details, and has spent some time in your first house and now moves on into your second house. So this is the house of finances, your livelihood, your 3D things, your assets and your possessions, things that you can touch and hold, things that you know to be true, and things of value. The second house always is the house of things that we value and hold near and dear to our heart. And the second house also indicates a house of where we develop skills, like we take a course of study, we learn something that can be a resource for us for a lifetime, or that we can actually benefit by tangible resources, is also the second house. And Mercury, being the planet of logic and intellect in his second house from the 26th of June to the 2nd of September, really bodes well for getting down to brass tacks of your income, what's coming in and out of your daily checking account, where can you cash in on a financial opportunity, where can you put your money where your mouth is, what investments are around you that you can commit to and anchor into. With Mercury in the second house, you can uh, be very good at research and analyzing financial opportunities for yourself with this transit. So it's good for crunching numbers, and it's really good for capitalizing on the resources that you have. Where can you put your resources out into the world? What services do you provide that maybe you've been playing small? Mercury in the second house will help you open up and take a bit more of a gamble and a risk on yourself, and see where it takes you. Why not? Why not throw your hat in the ring when it comes to financial opportunities? If you've been playing small, maybe it's time to really stand on your soapbox and herald to the world, hey, this is what I got. So selfless promotion would be well advised if you have something of value that you can share with other people, but can also tangibly benefit you. Really nice transit with Mercury and Leo in his second house from the 26th of June to the 2nd of September. The 29th to the 30th, Mercury opposes retrograde Pluto. Um, yeah, this is interesting. These 2 days are very interesting because Mercury, being very focused on assisting you with seeing where the opportunities are for you financially with your livelihood, your assets and skills, um, is sort of shying away or not playing nice with letting other people in on this beneficial path that you're on, really, is how I see this day. So you might be keeping something or someone at an arm's length, not letting them encroach on your space financially. So if you feel like you need to put in some boundaries with shared resources, or how other people's resources might be really weighing you down, this could be the 2 days where you want to verbalize, if you will, that, or even make a contract, how other people can't really siphon or hoodwink you financially from the 29th to the 30th. I think you might be in a commanding position of seeing the forest for the trees, of where other people's resources are a little bit too close to home, and you might be ready to speak up about it or actually write a formal contract. So that is your astrology for the month of June. Cancer rising signs, I trust you have a wonderful month. Feel free to leave any comments in the comment section below. And if you want to work one-on-one with me, I can be contacted at cosmical101@protonmail.com. Till next time, enjoy exalted Jupiter in Cancer in your first house. Yay! Do listen to that separate video I've got on my YouTube channel for you about Jupiter's transit in Cancer in your first house with the Cancer rising signs. And till next time, stay cosmic.